This universe consists of a set of probabilities. There is no certain truth, no serious. Your scientists have begun to realize this as probabilities all the way down. From the idea of an electron being in one particular position, all that the universe records is the when we interact with the universe in some way. Put another way, a wave function of probability. As a finite machine, the universe saves, that is, when a state, even those facts which you assume are certain, you assume as a given fact. The odds of that being the case are very, but that's still not one. Imagine a scenario where the zero, perhaps you've misremembered your own name. Perhaps your name was changed at some point, as unlikely as it may sound. Can I tell you all this about the universe's? Your intention influences, though. If you wish to succeed against the crown, focus on it and imagine the emotion. Truly feel that emotion. As doing so, now and consistently. Conversely, worrying about an ill-fated, be mindful of your thoughts and you will. Good luck.
Hey there, friend. You found us. Not many do. Most just stare at the sky and scratch their heads.
That mushroom-shaped saucer outside. I've seen that flying around. That was you?
Yep, that's us. Zipping around, popping in and out of the various densities. You humans have been asleep too long, and we're here to awaken you. To give a subtle reminder, a nudge, that there is more beyond this world.
I'm not sure I understand.
Of course you don't. That's the problem. Humanity in this density, or this dimension, as you humans sometimes say, is stuck. You call this the afterlife, but it's just one of many densities, one of many dimensions. And this ether that you consider a blessing, it's a curse. It's keeping you stuck in this density. Your soul is meant to move from density to density, experiencing all of them, learning from all of them. The crown promises you eternal life through ether, but it's all a lie. Life was always eternal. Quiet your mind and allow your consciousness to tap into the eternal memory. You will remember the truth. Your soul is eternal. It reincarnates forever and ever.
Reincarnation? An angel told me about a reincarnation portal somewhere on this planet. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes and no. Reincarnation is multi-directional. You can reincarnate up and you reincarnate down. The portal you speak of, that's reincarnation down, back to what you call the first world. And yet there's nothing first about it. It's just one of many worlds, many. If you die in this world, your soul moves to the right on the axis of reincarnation, to a world you haven't seen. But if you enter the portal, your soul moves to the left on that axis, back to the so-called first world. Yes, you experience this density and learn its lessons, and then you move on to the next.
So the purpose here is to learn lessons.
Yes, to learn, to experience. Your life here, and all of your lifetimes, exist for the purpose of spiritual evolution. You learn life's lessons under the many different conditions of each density. Then you take that knowledge back to the source.
The source?
The source is the eternal consciousness from which we all arise and to which we all return. All that exists at its core is only the consciousness of Source. All are one. You, I, and everyone else are all Source consciousness. Just a matter of Source viewing itself from different lenses, different angles. Source's purpose for fragmenting itself this way is ultimately to know itself. It creates the observer and the observed, two sides of a coin. This is what allows Source to have experiences. It learns through experiences. It learns about itself. Source can only know itself through experience. That is why it is important to continue the journey of experience. To experience this density and the next, and the next, and the next. Not to get stuck in this density, as the crown has frightened you all into doing. The crown has interrupted the natural order and slowed your spirit's evolution, and thus the evolution of Source. But the crown has enslaved you, and now you're all stuck. Not good. You can't evolve. You can't learn. You can't grow. You humans are so afraid of death that you've sacrificed free will. You've sacrificed everything. The crown has you stuck in a spiritual limbo.
Spiritual limbo.
That's right. Human souls need the opportunity to evolve spiritually, just like we have. To have free will and to make choices that determine the direction of your evolution. But the crown is stomping all over that free will. So, to preserve free will, we must now intervene, as gently as we can, as indirectly as possible, as direct intervention itself would be a violation of free will. We started by creating spectacles in the sky. Those spectacles to remind you that there's more out there. But since those aren't working, we are offering our assistance more directly to you. It is up to humans to solve human problems. And since you made it all the way here, you might just be the human for the job. We'll give you our flying saucer, our UFO, so that you can travel to the Crown's headquarters. But one thing quick, gotta make sure you're strong enough to actually take on the Crown. Let's have a test of strength.
What do I have to do?
There's a sand dune north of here. Go there and visit the Sphinx. Return with a crystal called the Sphinx's Blessing, and the UFO is all yours. Welcome to our hub. We are here to teach and assist.
A moment of your time, if you will, before you approach that crystal. Who are you? Why do you look like me? I'm your shadow. My shadow. Indeed, the summation of the greatest fears from which you're currently running. I am a projection of those fears, if you will. So, you're not real. Oh, I'm certainly real. Just as real as you are, for I am merely a component of you. I've been with you all along. A shadow is merely a portion of the self. Every individual unit of consciousness with an activated solar plexus energy center has its own shadow. I'm not sure I understand. If you've been part of me all along, why are you appearing to me as a separate being now? You've reached a pivotal moment in the development of the quality of your consciousness. In your terms, you might say you are poised to ascend into a higher level of being. But to reach that level of being, you must first confront your shadow. To confront my shadow? So, I need to fight and kill you? No. The shadow cannot be erased. The shadow is a permanent part of your being. The goal is not erasure, but integration. As I said, one's shadow is the projection of one's fears. Most people spend their entire lives running from their fears. That is to say, they dedicate much time and energy to avoiding scenarios which might require them to confront or even acknowledge those fears. Indeed, that is how you've spent your life in this density, has it not? Without even noticing that you've done so, you've spent all your time and energy running from your deepest fear. My deepest fear? The crown? No, not the crown. Your deepest fear is your own mortality. You've dedicated all this time and effort to securing yourself a permanent source of ether. You fear the unknown. You fear what comes after death. And so, as a projection of that fear, I shall take on a form representative of death. All your actions revolve around prolonging your lifespan and nothing else. In essence, this fear has paralyzed you into a life of inaction. If all your actions center on delaying your death, are you truly living? Are you learning the lessons that this life had intended for you? Are you fulfilling your soul contracts? That's not true. My motivations don't lie just in avoiding death. They lie in freeing this world of the crown's control, in restoring free will. I'm going to find the reincarnation portal, if it really exists, and restore access to it. When that's done, the people of this world will be able to choose whether to live, to die, or to reincarnate. My motivation is a desire to liberate this world. You've convinced yourself that that's your motivation, but dig deeper. Is it not true that your desire is to see reincarnation happen with your own two eyes? And that, by doing so, you'll finally prove to yourself that life doesn't end with this lifetime. The Sphinx's blessing is brimming with energy of a very high frequency. Energy that you won't be able to control unless you first integrate me, your shadow, into your being. Confront your fear of death, first mentally, and then symbolically through action, through combat. Only then will the Sphinx's blessing be yours. Here it is. The Sphinx's blessing.
Excellent. You've proven yourself worthy. Now, let me tell you about what you've truly acquired. That Sphinx's blessing is actually just a regular old selenite crystal. There's nothing particularly rare about it, but it will help you in your mission. So I want you to keep it.
A crystal? How does that help?
It is an energy transmutation crystal, friend. It transmutes energy from bad to good. Or more technically, from low vibrations to high. Simply having it on you will help you in your mission. Think of it as a small token of protection against others' negative energy. Should you come into contact with others whose intentions are impure, your own intentions shall remain untainted. In a sense, it protects you, subtly, from becoming like them, or from taking on their negative energy, and thus their characteristics.
Do I really need this?
More than you know, friend. That is all I can say without infringing upon your free will. All will be revealed very soon. Now, as promised, our UFO, as you call it, is all yours. With this, may you succeed in your goal of ending the Crown's infringement of free will.
All right. We have the transportation we need to get into Western Baltica. The mushroom people gave me their UFO.
Mushroom people? That's about the strangest thing I've ever heard.
Agreed. You'll have to explain it to us later, though. We have before us an unprecedented opportunity to strike the Crown's fortress directly. Much has happened while you were out. Roscoe carried out a successful, if controversial, mission to weaken their defenses.
That's right. I went and created an opening in the Crown's line of defense. I tricked their troops into running off on a pointless mission.
What? That's incredible. So their fortress is entirely unguarded.
No, not all of them, but the majority of the army that normally guards it is gone.
How did you get them to leave?
Best brace yourself for this, Apollo. You're not going to like the answer.
This is a plan I'd been cooking up for a while. I led a few of our guys up to the northern coast of Western Baltica. We attacked one of the Crown's forts, and then we led them on a chase.
That sounds great so far. What's not to like about that plan?
Well, here's where it gets a little messy, but I did what we had to do to ensure victory. You know the North Island faction? The other group of the Resistance? The one that's up on one of those snowy islands way up north. I led the Crown's army up to the North Island faction's island.
So, the Crown thinks the North Island faction is the group that made the attack.
Exactly.
And that means the Crown is fighting the North Island faction right now.
Well, fighting is one way to put it.
Status update?
All members of this so-called resistance are dead. We're in the process of raising the remaining buildings. It will soon be as if there never was any resistance group in the first place.
Excellent. That is indeed the goal. We must remove all traces of evidence that this group ever existed. We will erase them from history, such that nobody ever attempts to follow in their path. So, it is crucial. Take your time and do a very thorough cleanup here. The place must be scrubbed clean of any hint that any human may have ever set foot upon this land.
Understood.
They're all dead?
Most likely, yeah.
They were our allies.
Yeah, but they knew what they'd signed up for. This is war. It ain't pretty.
No, that's not how we do things. We can't just go and throw our allies into enemy hands.
Hey, we were getting nowhere on the whole break through the Crown's defenses thing. Someone had to do something. So I did. Like you said, we need to strike the Crown before they have a chance to build a new hatchery. So I saw an opportunity and I took it.
And now, we have blood on our hands. The blood of our own allies, no less. Just get out of here.
All right, whatever. I'll give you some time to cool.
What kind of monsters have we become? How could this have happened? Who approved this plan?
I was out training some of our newer summoners at the time, so I'm afraid we didn't have a chance to stop it. The news came as a shock to me as well.
And I was out collecting materials for the weapons and armor we'll be needing. This is the first I'm hearing of this plan.
Okay, I approved the plan. Roscoe is correct. We needed to act quickly. Putting an end to the crown is our goal, and it's a goal we must accomplish at all costs.
No, Bart. Not at all costs. What's the point of standing up to an organization like the Crown if we just lower ourselves to their level? What would we accomplish by replacing one evil with another?
Apollo, you are too short-sighted. We have a chance to change this world. Permanently. We can create a world without needless suffering, without heartbreak. So, a few people may have to suffer a bit to get there. Tough luck. We've all had to suffer to get to where we are now. What? Should we be the only ones who suffer? Do we just martyr ourselves for the sake of others our entire lives? We cannot be the only ones who are expected to suffer loss and hardship. This is a group effort, a group struggle for a better world.
For what it's worth, Apollo, I'm with you on this one.
As am I, lad.
What do we do now? Where do we go from here, from this mess?
Well, I know it's not what you want to hear, but as wrong as Roscoe's plan was, we should take advantage of the Crown's fortress being empty. We won't get another chance to attack like this one.
That's true. But it doesn't seem right, attacking now. It'd be as if we were giving validation to the plan. Wouldn't it be a dishonor to the memory of our North Island faction allies?
Yeah.
Maybe it would be, in a way. Sometimes life throws us these complicated scenarios where there's no clear right and wrong answer. All I know is that if we don't attack now, all their lives will have been lost for nothing. In a way, maybe the best way to honor their memory is to proceed with the attack.
They did dedicate their lives to ending the Crown's reign. Attacking the Crown now is what they ultimately would have wanted.
You're probably right. Things will only get worse from here if we don't attack the Crown now. Is everything prepared for the attack?
Yep, everything's ready. All that's left is to fly to the Crown's fortress, northwest from here, and begin the invasion.
All right. Remember, we're nearing our toughest battles. And now that we have the UFO, we can fly anywhere in the world. I'm sure there are many resources out there that we have access to now that would help us in our fight. Although time is of the essence, it's still important that we make sure we're as prepared as we can be. So it might be wise to do some last-minute exploring before we head into battle. When we're ready, we can head to the Crown's fortress in Western Baltica